Parma, Italy, 1992. Inside a quiet, dusty laboratory at the University of Parma, a group of neuroscientists were conducting a routine experiment. They weren't looking for parenting secrets. They weren't trying to decode human emotion. They were studying the motor cortex of a macaque monkey. They had hooked up sensors to the specific neurons responsible for hand movement. Every time the monkey reached for a peanut, the machine would buzz. It was simple cause and effect. The monkey moves, the brain fires, the machine buzzes. But one hot afternoon, something happened that shouldn't have been possible. One of the researchers, perhaps taking a break, walked into the room and reached for a peanut himself. The monkey sat perfectly still. It didn't move a muscle. It just watched. But suddenly, the machine went crazy. The scientists froze. They checked the wires. They checked the monkey. The monkey hadn't moved. So why did its brain fire exactly as if it had picked up the peanut? They ran the test again. The human moved. The monkey watched. The brain fired. In that accidental moment, they had stumbled upon one of the greatest discoveries in the history of neuroscience, mirror neurons. Welcome to the Kids Growth Lab, where we decode the science of living smarter. Today, we are traveling to Italy. It's not for the pizza. It's not for the art. We are going there to study the Italian brain hack. We are going to uncover how specific cultural practices in Italy, from their loud, expressive arguments to their slow, sacred dinners, unconsciously hacked these mirror neurons to raise children who don't just understand feelings, but physically feel them. We live in a world where empathy is crashing. Studies show that college students today are 40% less empathetic than those in the 1980s. We are raising a generation that is digitally connected, but emotionally severed. So how do we fix the hardware? We stop teaching empathy like a subject in school, and we start living it like an Italian. This is the neuroscience of the mirror, and how to turn your child's brain into an empathy machine. Before we get to the culture, you need to understand the machine. What exactly is a mirror neuron? Think of it as the Wi-Fi of the human soul. Before this discovery, scientists thought that if I saw you crying, my brain would process it logically. It would say, okay, that is a tear. Tears mean sadness. Therefore, he is sad. It was a calculation. But mirror neurons prove that theory wrong. When you see someone crying, or stubbing their toe, or laughing hysterically, your brain doesn't just calculate. It simulates. A subset of your own motor and emotional neurons fire as if the event were happening to you. You wince. You feel a phantom pain. Your heart rate rises. This simulation is the biological foundation of empathy. It is the ability to feel with someone, not just for someone, but here is the catch. And this is the critical part for every parent watching. This system works on input. If the signal is weak, blurry, or hidden, the mirror neurons don't fire. The Wi-Fi disconnects. This is where modern Western parenting is failing, and where the Italian lifestyle excels. Walk down a street in Naples, Rome, or Palermo. What do you see? You see chaos. You see passion. You see people talking with their hands, their faces twisting in joy, anger, surprise, and disbelief. But to a neuroscientist, this is a super stimulus for a child's brain. In many modern cultures, especially in the US and UK, we value the poker face. We teach emotional suppression. We tell kids, stop crying, be quiet, control yourself. As parents, we hide our stress. We think we are protecting them. Neuroscience tells us that when we hide our emotions, we are starving our child's mirror neurons. We are giving them a low-resolution signal. Human beings have 42 individual muscles in the face. In Italy, adults use every single one of them. When an Italian parent is frustrated, the child sees the frustration. Child's brain immediately mirrors that frustration. They learn to decode the micro-expressions of anger, love, and disappointment. They are getting thousands of hours of practice reading other people. Studies have actually shown that people who use Botox, which freezes facial muscles, because they cannot mimic the expression physically. If you are a Botox parent, not literally, but emotionally, if you are stiff, calm, and robotic, your child's empathy hardware begins to atrophy. Here's your homework. Stop being a robot. If you are angry because you dropped the eggs, show it. Narrate it. Say, I am so frustrated right now. By amplifying the signal, you turn on their receiver. You are teaching them that emotions are not dangerous things to be hidden. They are data to be shared. In the famous Reggio Emilia approach to education, which was born in Italy after World War II, there is a concept called the third teacher. The first teacher is the parent. The second is the classroom. The third is the environment. In Italy, children are not hidden away in kid zones. They are in the piazza, the town square. They are walking through the crowded markets. They are part of the adult world. This exposes them to complex social dynamics early. They see a couple kissing. Their mirror neurons are constantly firing, processing a diverse range of human experiences. When a child interacts with a screen, why? Because a cartoon character does not have real micro-expressions. A YouTuber screaming at a video game does not have a soul. The screen provides visual information. When we replace the piazza with the iPad, we are literally cutting the wire to their empathy center. Stop leaving your kids in the playroom while the adults talk. Bring them to the table. Let them watch you negotiate a return at the counter. In an American playground, if two toddlers fight over a toy, what happens? The parents rush in immediately. It's a rescue mission. No hitting. Share. Say sorry. We solve the problem for them. But in Italian observational studies, Italian adults often pause. They wait. They allow the conflict to breathe for a moment. They unconsciously understand that the struggle is the teacher. When a child snatches a toy and sees the other child cry, they need to see the tears. They need to feel the tension in the room. They need their mirror neurons to kick in and say, if you rush in and fix it instantly, you act as their external conscience, so they never develop their own. You are training them to obey authority rather than to feel empathy. The hack is simple. Next time there is a minor conflict, watch, wait. Give their brain a chance to come online. Finally, the most powerful tool in the Italian arsenal. The one thing that binds the culture together, the meal. In the West, food is often fuel. We eat in the car. In Italy, the meal is a ritual. It is slow. It is face-to-face. When human beings share food and make eye contact, the bonding hormone and serotonin, the relaxation hormone, this chemical state puts the brain into a plastic mode where it becomes open, receptive, and connected. If your child eats alone or eats with an iPad propped up against the juice box, you are missing the biggest empathy training window of the day. The dinner table is where the family checks in. It is where you learn to listen. It is where you learn to read the room. Papa looks tired today. Maybe I should be quiet. Mama is happy. Maybe I can tell a joke. And it cannot happen if everyone is staring at a black mirror. We cannot all live in a villa in Tuscany, but we can turn our homes into a laboratory for kindness. Empathy is not a gift you are born with. It is a muscle. And like any muscle, if you don't use it, it withers away. But the Italian culture perfected the software. Let your kids see you human. Make the meal sacred. Bring your child into the real world. Want them to be successful. The one skill that machines will never truly master is empathy. It is the human edge. And it starts with you. This is the Kids Growth Lab. Which of these Italian habits are you missing in your home? Are you a poker face parent or a piazza parent? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single one. Ciao.